All right, cool things are happening. Yeah, I've been working, but I'm not working. That's why I got my headlamp on.
He's been BSing all day is what he's been doing.
No, it's not what I do. The DirtyLifes came in. Ryan's opening all the boxes up. Let's see what they're gonna look like. Let's check this out. Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Caleb Morrison. This is Caleb's Diesel and Fabrication. If you like fabricating stuff, if you like working on diesel vehicles, this is a great place to be because we're gonna do it all. The 20s!
They clean though.
Now, did they find out? Oh, look at that. My gosh, look how big these are.
I was not gonna comment.
The 17-inch rim for beadlock rim fits inside of the 20-inch one.
That's good stuff.
Actually, that's pretty cool. That is freaking sweet. Let's see here. All right, so one of these I am going to mount up, and it's going to be the spare. But the rest of these, I got to take the rings to Kevin so you can paint match them. Shout out to Kevin, you're doing a great job, bud. You know how I am about this paint matching stuff. Oh my gosh. This thing is awesome. Man, that's a big one. It's almost like Christmas, but for adults.
That's right.
Santa came early. Whoa! Those are cool.
Sick. Hold it up, let's see it.
Man, that's bad to the bone. All right, I can't wait to get one mounted. I can't wait to check it out, put it on the truck, and see how much I'm gonna have to trim out of these fenders. Can I make it before Moab? I don't know. So I think I've got some extra valve stems, because that's one thing I didn't order. Yeah. That's right. Let's check it out.
Got the chromies?
Got the chromies. Have to borrow some valve stems, but through the
If you didn't steal valve stem caps when you were a kid, were you really living?
Yep. Okay.
That's what you call organization. Right
Hey,
there.
you don't want to. Hey, this would be, I've seen people do this before and just straight up 100% just forget to put these in, get their beadlock mounted up and be like, oh.
That would suck.
Hey, it didn't happen to me when I did my other ones. I was like, I gotta make sure.
Oh.
Hey, I videoed that. It's up on YouTube. You can watch it. But I am gonna need to get a little, what else to put on there?
Man, these are nice. Look at the old machine work on these. Woo. They're not far off from the other ones.
I think they're an inch. They're 1 inch. You talking about the back spaces?
I was talking about the look of them.
Oh, yeah.
They're not too far off.
No. It's pretty close. I used to have a tool for this. Hey.
Can't imagine what happened to that. Lulu, where's your ball? Get your ball. Huh? Huh?
Oh, you know what, Ryan? Yeah, smart. Gotta be smart.
I'm surprised you didn't spend a little extra cash and get them fast air down things.
No, I can't afford that.
Like
So this is what I call the
buckle bolts.
buckle of all-knowing bolts that I...
What are we looking for?
Well, I got some other ones that I put in here. This is like the bolt bin that I knew I may or may not need. I got randos in here of everything. As you know, you never know. You find one.
Everyone's got to have a random bolt bin or 5 in your tool shed.
I'm gonna have to dump it out.
That's what you have to do, man.
Yeah, everybody likes cleaning up a bolt bin.
Jacob's working on another Ford. This is good times here.
Yeah, that's what I like to do, dig through bolts. Clamps, bolts, gaskets, plugs. See, this is the stuff I was thinking about maybe possibly needing at some point. Customized bolt.
Yeah.
You know, just in case.
Custom. You can find this at the stove.
We're gonna have to take a little rain check. I don't think I got one more spot I can look for.
All right, so far tonight, I got the top links built. We've been doing other stuff too, but got those done. The truck is sitting at ride height right here. Looking good. We'll be getting the bottom ones done here pretty soon. Let's go see what Caleb's doing over here. He's getting excited putting his 42's on. We're gonna see what those puppies look like on this truck. What's going on over here?
Oh, we're cussing and discussing. So I'm getting rid of the spacers that I currently have on my truck because I got a negative 44 offset with the new 20s. But to make a 1-inch spacer fit, this is part of having a project, is you have to cut the studs down on your hubs to get it to fit where the wheel's not gonna rub. So luckily we have a dog that whines and wants to play with rocks all the time.
Yes.
And the other thing is, luckily, is we can put new studs in the hubs and it'll be fine. But that also makes me have to tear this apart. So probably not gonna happen tonight. I really want to put them on there because they look really cool. But
Slide one up there.
We're going to put it on there right now.
we're gonna put it on right now, even though it's sticking out a little bit farther than it's really going to.
Heave ho.
Down?
Yeah, down.
Blow out the rear.
Whoa, too far.
Too far?
I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we've got some winter weather here beating off the roof up there. Hitting on the roof, we got some ice rain today. It was 85 and then 80 the day before that, and today and yesterday it's been in the 20s and stuff. It's crazy. Gotta love Oklahoma.
Yeah. Normal stuff here.
Oh shoot. Look at that. She's a little different.
Oh my gosh.
Can't really tell on the camera, but that's about, it's about a fist difference. Let me go from the side. Leave it there. Yeah. You can tell there. That's a big difference. Looks good though. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Alright, slam her down. Lou.
Here we go. We're gonna see what she looks like. Well, you know. About right there, yeah.
Did you ever measure her?
Woo.
Remember exactly what it was on the 40s?
God, those are huge. My gosh. That's a lot of tire. Whoa.
That's definitely fills the void, doesn't it? Woo!
Yeah, you're doing it without space.
Versus
Or with space.
this little one. Come on. Is it hitting everything?
No, it ain't hitting yet.
Well, that's stop right there.
That's as far as it's gonna go, though.
Go back the other way.
Liz. Am I hitting the lid?
No.
Keep going. Bump it up.
Yeah, that way
It's in the lift, but it's not far from here.
yeah, that's about as far as it'll go.
Well, without the spacer in there, it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
Well, without the spacer, it'll suck it in closer and you won't be in your fender as much.
Oh no. Man,
It'll be in the fender, but not near as bad.
Dude, that's...
Instead of hitting here, it'll hit.
Stand next to that thing so you can kind of
yeah,
get
it's literally above my waist.
an idea. It's hard to tell.
It's above my waist.
42 is a big tire.
Get on.
Lulu. This dog.
Wow.
Yeah.
See mine.
Well, that's the shenanigans we got going on tonight.
All right, guys, it's Friday, and time to shut down the shop for working on other people's stuff and start working on my own stuff. I'm a glutton for punishment, but when you got a rig like this, you got to do it. So, got the 42 mounted up on the new DirtyLife wheels. Man, these are so cool. This is a -44 offset with a 42, 1350/20. So I went to a 20-inch wheel DirtyLife from a 17, and these are 40s. So I really can't complain one bit about the Pro Comp MT2s. They were great tires. I don't have any issues. Like, I really like them, but I wanted to go to a sticky. I originally, when I was building this truck, was trying to go with the Nitto trail grapplers. I just really like the way they are. But at the time that I was buying these tires and trying to get them, it was like a 2-week span. The only 2 tires that were available in 40s were a Pro Comp MT2 and also the Patagonias. And that was the Series 1 Patagonia, and I wasn't a fan. I heard a lot of bad things about them. So long story short, I ended up getting the MT2s, and I've been happy with them, and there's nothing wrong with them. I'm still going to keep them, but I think I am definitely committed now to the 42s. And with this offset, I was able to get rid of my 1-inch spacers that I was running up here. Super happy about that. So I am really excited about being able to try the 42s, and they're sticky, so that's what I wanted to begin with. So the only thing about 42s, and I say that the only thing lightly, is there's going to be some trimming taking place on the fender itself. So you can see I made a mark here. This is 2 inches and this is 2.5. So I'm definitely going to have to take my fender from where it is and go up with it. So the beauty of where I cut it beforehand is I almost got it completely flexed out, and we still got good clearance here, and we definitely have good clearance back at the link bar. It's hard to see, but I am going to have to, up here in the front, when I bring this forwards, I'm gonna have to come down, cut this, and I'm gonna have to go through here, and I'm actually gonna have to cut this off at a different angle so it basically doesn't rub or hit. So it's going to be a little different looking, guys, than what it is right now, but I think all in all it's going to work good. Like I said, I got to do full bump. I'm going to do kind of some baby steps. Anytime you're going to cut sheet metal and trim stuff like this, you want to kind of go slow and start and just do one cut. So I might mark this and do one cut and then try a different, go a little bit more if I need it. I don't want to have to cut out a ton of fender, but it's possibly the way it's going to go. So I'm going to try to get to work on cutting this fender out. I'm going to mark it first, and when I get it all marked out, I'll get my cutoff wheel, and I'm going to try to make it as straight as possible. Luckily, I have nothing but time. We got a little over 2 weeks until I got to go to Moab, so I got to get these things cut out, flexed out, and then I also have to take the fenders, the whole truck, to Kevin to have him repaint the blue, the two-tone, because I'm gonna have to cut it down here. So this is one uniform piece and redo it. So it's not a big deal. I'm gonna leave it at this same spot right here. I'm gonna cut it out and re-weld it in that same spot. So it's not a big deal, but I just don't like that I'm gonna have to completely redo it, but it is one of those sacrifices that I'm gonna make to put these new tires on there. So here we go, I'm gonna get started. Let's talk and more work. Okay, so we're making some progress. All right, guys, so got this pretty much cut out to where I want it to be. It's really looking good. I mean, it's got enough room on the steering box, which is what I was concerned about. I'm gonna have to change the design of the way my bumper is. I used to have those out, but at least it'll still be out this much where I can not have to worry about hitting stuff. I got some inner fender trimming to do here. Right there, go up. I'm probably gonna lose this bolt for the core support, so I'm gonna do a little tacking and welding, but all in all, works pretty good. I'm gonna have to get creative and fancy with some of the inner structure. Probably have to work on that a little bit, but it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna work out nice. I got plenty of room in the back. Happy with that, and it's stuffed up in there. So what I might do is add a little bit of space on my bump stop can, maybe a 1/2 inch. And I think that'll give me enough to where I'm gonna be good and clear. Thought I was gonna end up having to cut more off the fender. I was thinking I was gonna be up here at the body line, but shoot, it's, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch to the body line. So that's not bad, but all in all, I'm super happy with the progress. That it really looks good. I mean, one fender is basically done. Pretty close anyways, but these things are massive. I mean, these things are huge. Just comparison-wise, when you're looking at the amount of rubber on this thing, I mean, this is a big tire. It's a 40-inch tall tire, but just, oh my gosh, these are legit. Yeah, it's a 20-inch wheel, and it looks like a little 15 with this much rubber on it. So, guys, I can't wait. I mean, it's cool. This is awesome. It sticks out about 1 inch farther on the outside, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna hurt me. I think it's gonna help me when I get in some of those tight spots where I was hitting my fender, which you guys saw on the video, where I kind of did this fender in real good. So it's not gonna hurt my feelings to trim this one up because it is, you know, is what it is. But I'm on the fence. I started on the driver's side on purpose. I'm like, do I work this fender over again and have Kevin paint this just like that, or do I just go grab a fender off one of the parts trucks and start over new? But I don't know. Starting over new is a lot of work, so I don't know. I kind of take this as a badge of honor. You know how these Jeep guys and girls have these trail badges when they go on these trails and they conquered the trail? Right. This is my trail badge. You know, just a little carnage. Shows that I was there and I did that. I don't need no badge on my truck. But she's flexed out, looking good, nice and flexy. I'm happy with it. I think it's gonna work good. She looks good sitting there with all flexed out like this, but it's gonna look even better when it's got that 42 on that side. Kevin, get to work on painting these things. It won't be long. I'll have these fenders ready and I'm gonna drive this thing down there and we can get the fenders painted. I'm loving it. All right, it's a Sunday morning and I just got off work from the fire station, and I'm excited because as you guys can tell from the background that it is nice and quiet in here, which I am a huge fan of quiet. When you have the shop going full time and you get some time for it to be quiet in there, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. But I just want to kind of make a couple of points today and work on my fenders. I'm excited about that. Let's get these, hopefully I can get these knocked out. I think it's going to be, you know, just some more cutting and grinding and just kind of trimming. But I just wanted since, especially on a Sunday, I just wanted to be thankful for a couple of things. And I'm just thankful, one of the things that I am thankful for is the people in my life that kind of have helped me to where I am today. Because a lot of times people don't give credit where credit is due. And I know I'm thankful because I have a lot of people that have believed in me over the years and have, you know, kind of made me believe in myself in a lot of ways. And so I'm thankful for them, thankful for all their advice in my life and believing in me, because there's a lot of times, guys, where you just got to stick with those people and they got to cheer you on. And sometimes you got to be your own cheerleader, which isn't always easy, but it is necessary. So a couple of other things I'm thankful for is the ability to be able out here to work on this and get the opportunity, you know, to live in the good US of A here. We are definitely fortunate and blessed to have the opportunities that we have afforded to us in this country. So thankful for that. I'm thankful for all the veterans out there that have put their lives on the line for us, and there's been a lot of them that didn't make it home, and I'm thankful for everything that they've done, and the ones that are gonna come and gonna be after the fact, the ones that didn't come back, and I'm just thankful for them all. So anyways, I'm doing a little cleanup. I'm trying to get, you know, the old me would probably get rid of these spacers and just throw them away, but these are my old spacers that came off of the truck when I had the other wheels on for the offset. So I just went ahead and put the studs back in them and put all of the lug nuts back on them, because I'll save these. And I may or may not use them, but they're neat and they're put together. And if I needed them on something else or decided I wanted to go back to them for some odd reason, I could use these again. So no big deal. One thing I've tried to get better at as I've gotten older is cleaning up my work area. I preach it to my guys all the time about cleaning up their work area and making sure that they, you know, clean up after they get done and put the tools away, stuff like that. And so I'm kind of practicing what I preach, and that is cleaning everything up. And also, you know, this would be a trip hazard for me, being on the ground. So guys, you might as well just, you know, go ahead and clean it up. It's not a big deal. Doesn't take that long. Probably take me less than 10 minutes to do all this. So had to drive these studs out of the other hubs that because I got new hubs for this truck, just to be on the safe side. The other ones weren't bad necessarily, but I got new hubs just in case. I hate putting stuff back together and it not working, and I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, it seems fine, and then go ahead and try to run it and it doesn't work out. So anyways, be smart, guys. You know, look at your parts, look at the stuff you're taking off your truck. If it seems like it's not in good shape, don't put it back on, because you better change it at the shop versus trying to change it on the trail, because on the trail is not near as much fun. It can be done, but it's not near as much fun in my experience. Plus, another thing about these spacers was the coarse thread versus the fine thread. It was kind of frustrating, because you'd start working on taking stuff apart and then you wouldn't put the right lug nut on it, and so it wasn't right. So anyways, okay, so one thing I'm going to do today to help is I got this little air die grinder that my step grandpa gave to me years ago, and I really hadn't used it very much, and I'm super excited to use it. I used it on like one project on a truck to get in where a gas pedal was, and this is nice because you can get it up in there. It's got a little smaller cutoff wheel. So these are 3-inch cutoff wheels. They're 1/16 thick, and they got a 1/4-inch hole in the middle, so it's air, so it's not steel or battery power, but it works pretty good. It'll get into the fenders here where I need to get. So what I'm going to focus on, and I haven't really, I shouldn't say I haven't made up my mind, but what I got to do here is I got to bring it back down, and I got to do some more trimming. It's definitely pretty tight in there, guys. The tightness of where it's at and the bump stop being all the way out, I'm going to have to trim up here. I'm probably going to have to redo some of this, but you know, it's just part of it, guys. You don't always plan on this stuff being easy, and that's why we all do it, right? Because it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it. So I got a lot of trimming to do, a lot of work to do. I need to get my fender. The first thing I need to do is get the fender up over here. I need to get this another 1/2 inch above, probably go another 3/4, and then I need to get in here and look at the inner fender and see on the inner fender how much I need to take off. And also, if it warrants that, I'm going to have to take off my air compressor that's in there, and maybe redo my bracket for that holds up the inner fender that I built. It may need to go up a little bit higher, but maybe might be able to cut it and move it a little bit with a hammer and then re-tack it on there. So I don't think it'll be a big deal, but we're going to find out here shortly. So I know less talk, more work. So I'm just telling you what we got going on, guys. Nice thing about a Sunday too, I will say this, is I'm gonna be able to throw my AirPods in and just hammer down and start working. So that is what I am excited about, because I may get a lot done. We'll see. Probably not the preferred method to get this up, but it's gonna work. So, what my plan is here, I'm gonna go up here. I got the inner fender pretty much cut out. I got all around the headlight cut out. I relocated the little spring that holds the retainer for the headlight in, so it'll hold up, and hopefully that's enough clearance. I really don't want to have to move the headlight itself, even though my buddy James, he's already had this issue, and usually his headlight ends up falling out. So hopefully it doesn't happen, but it is what it is if it does. So I'm going to take this screw jack that I got for, you know, getting my car stabilized and holding stuff up, and I cut some reliefs over here where the weld was. Cut a relief up inside of here, and that way when I start pushing on the very end of this with the jack, it'll go up and touch the fender, which I might need to trim it off a little bit more to get it to go up, because it's gonna hit the inner fender. But my goal is to get it to that inner fender right here, which it looks like it's got to go up quite a ways, but I got it tacked right there as well, so I'm gonna have to do the same thing in the front. I might use a bottle jack on the tire for that, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna start off with the back and get that tacked in, and hopefully that'll get my fender up high enough. I actually need to recut this. Just standing back and looking at it, it looks like it's a little off, higher in the back and lower in the front, which is okay, because I can redo that real easy with the cutoff wheel and just take my time. So, but one thing at a time, guys. It's kind of like peeling back the onion. You just got to do it little by little, and that's what we're going to do it.
It's a snap-on. I've used it like twice.
I've got like 4 of those. This still works pretty good.
Those little saws, dude, you can get real,
Yeah.
do corners and stuff.
Yeah.
You should just get it and use it if you need it.
Shit.
That's what it's for.
I'm close enough. Better not be. Yeah.
Damn. Well, you need help with anything.
Oh, I'm gonna go get a piece of flat. And go across here and make this final cut, and then I'm gonna fuck it. Well, I don't have to cut it. I can max it out right now and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of a process. What I do, I jack it up with the jack, which is already at full steer this way, which is the way that it's hitched. The worst side.
Oh, you got it on the lift. Okay, I see. I was like, what the hell? Is it level on the lift?
don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Full stuff. It's up full stuff and it's off the ground on this side. It's all the way.
So it'll go all the way down on that side. That's a lot of travel. You put more than 7 inches already.
Hey, you start hitting some fucking bump stop, baby. It's lifting the truck up.
You're in the headlight there.
So it's lifting the truck up.
Yeah. So that's completely,
That's as far as it'll go.
it's just barely touching on the high low.
Well, what I can do is that thing's not at the headlight. I can give that a little massaging.
So it's hitting that gear over there, and right there.
Yeah. But see how much room I got here? That's what I was doing.
Oh, that's clean. Yeah.
And the bump stop's maxed the fuck out.
Is it?
Yep.
So it won't even.
That's as far as it'll go. Which it ain't got a shock in there, but the shock ain't gonna hurt it. It'll just it'll help it. But it's fucking stuffed.
God, those are way bigger. Just looking at it on the truck now, it's like, God dang, dude.
Yeah, it's all there. I'm gonna cut this off.
Have you even bolted one on the back to see?
No, I'm not even worried about that. I just got the one mounted up anyways because I got the rock rings at Kevin's. But I just got this. I knew this was going to be the worst part is the front. So I was like, I'll start at the fucking hardest part.
Oh, well, get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Have you even put it on the other side yet?
No. I knew this side was going to be a little bit more
Is there more stuff on this
because
side?
there's more shit on this side. I started on this side on purpose.
So you didn't have to move the bottom at all?
No.
That's good.
The back or the bottom, I haven't had fuck with that at all.
That's good. You can tie right into that piece of bar stock there and
No,
You're just gonna redo it?
It'll look all fucked up.
okay.
So I'm gonna get a new one. Cause see my bend started here.
Oh, okay.
See where it starts
I
to
see
bend?
now. I didn't know it was bent there.
I'm gonna go straight up and follow along with it.
Yeah, you can have when you cut that out.
Yeah.
Just move it. Just like a straight. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, I'll make it a,
Instead of a curve.
yep, I'm gonna cut it straight. It's fucking stuffed up in there.
So it doesn't hit any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot you could cut off.
Oh yeah.
If you had to. Looks good, man. It's gonna be tits. It's gonna be badass when it's sitting there. It's gonna look like a fucking bulldog.
James is like, I can't believe you didn't cut any more out. I'm like, well, I'm not done yet, but I was like, it's gonna take quite a bit. All right, we're jamming. Wish you guys could listen to cool music that I'm playing, but YouTube doesn't like that. So, we're getting a lot done though. Ryan's been over here helping me get this new piece of 1/2" bar stock all welded in. And if you guys step back and look at it, man, it is really looking good. And the thing that I really wasn't expecting with this is how open this is. So it's gonna do a couple of things. It's also gonna help you know, obviously the tire not get into the fender and everything else when it's flexing out. but it's also going to allow heat to dissipate really, really well. So I am super stoked. This part's kind of a pain, getting it to bend and getting everything to kind of work the way you want it to. With, you know, my background and Ryan helped me do a little heat and beat, we finally got it conquered. It wasn't too hard, just took a little bit of time, but it's like anything, guys, on this whole truck. You just got to go slow and got to be patient with it and kind of work with it, especially sheet metal, which is not my favorite thing because it's so thin. I don't enjoy messing with that, but whenever it is necessary, you do have to do it. So this is one of those times. I got it kind of welded into my back brace here, and the light's dead, but anyways, it's welded in right there and it's looking pretty decent. I still got to do a little bit of trimming on the back side, but for all intents and purposes, this being flexed out, it's there.
Looking good.
It's really looking good. So I'm happy with it. I'm gonna flex it out a little bit more and turn it and just mess with it a little bit more, but now I can start working on the other side to get it to match. So I got a couple things I'm gonna have to, I don't know, hurdles I'm gonna have to come across, I may or may not have to do. And one of those things is I got the battery right there. Depending on how much I have to cut out of this, which I think is a lot, it's going to be interesting because I might have to relocate my battery a little bit farther back. I don't know, we're gonna see. So the key is on a project, guys, it's like, you know, they say eating an elephant just one bite at a time. So I started on that side where the driver is, you know, all the components for the, you know, the steering box, the brace and all that. I started on that side because I knew it was going to be the hardest of this whole job. And that way, doing the rest of this thing, whenever I'm slowing down here, it's going to get progressively easier as I go. The back is going to be way easy, as in I may not have to do anything at all, we'll see. But the front, the only really obstacle that I have besides cutting the fender and taking away some of my Sand Hollow trail rash and my trail badge here is moving the battery. So I might have to do that, we'll see. I just got to do the old Danny DeVito and I just start cutting, you know. So here we go. Alright guys, so I got this passenger side fender all marked out. I will tell you this, whenever you do, I remember this when I did it the first time, you do one side and it makes it way easier on the other side because you have measurements you can go off of. So got this one fully finished up other than just tack welding and finishing this up, the weld all the way down, which Kevin's going to work this up a little bit when he paints it so it'll look better. But we're going to try to make this side match as good as we can. So, you know, I got the Sand Hollow bump here from that one obstacle, so we're just going to leave it. And I know it's going to get painted over again, but who cares? Maybe Kevin will work on it, but we'll find out. But anyways, this side was way easier to get marked out. I'm glad that I had that template on the other side, so I can make a straight cut the first time and hopefully just have the one cut. The front's going to look a little different over here because it's, you know, got this, but still going to be the same thing. Got my battery out, so it's no longer in the way. I'm just going to try to stay away from all of the wires and stuff that I have down inside of here and start cutting. So we got to get on the grinder a couple more times at least and just go slow and make it work. Get you guys set up here.
sucking shit everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Whew. Yeah, this has been a way easier cut than the other one.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's cut. So I just gotta trim it out.
Is that as far as it's going?
That's where it goes.
Dang. Looks like it's a lot higher on the other side.
That's where it's at.
Once it's finally there.
Yeah, that's I fucking measured it exactly to a T. Like that. Turned out alright. So inner fender cut out.
Yeah. We need a plywood cutter, huh?
Shit. I don't know if it'd make it any easier, honestly.
Really?
I don't know. Probably gonna have to do the same fucking thing I did on that other one. Just cut along the inner fender and jack it up a little bit. Which ain't a big deal. I think I got enough room. I can move my battery back about 4 or 5 inches and it'll be alright.
Is it in the way where it's at?
Not at the moment, but when I start picking it up, it's gonna be a little off. Which I could, if I really wanted to get serious, I could just turn it like long ways in there instead of this way, and that would work too. I got enough room where I can do that. I mean, we'll see. Just depends on how it sits in there. It's close. Something got really hot. Maybe whenever I was tacking it on the outside.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ran that wire through there and tacked her on. Yeah.
Look out to the point, like, what now? They're all welded on there. I haven't welded the mounts on the back. Don't want to weld those yet or what?
The shock hoops?
No, the freaking cooling mounts on frame.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could be welded up solid.
Okay.
Those are, they ain't moving.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I just
they
didn't want to fucking weld it unless you're like.
No, we ain't gonna move that. I mean, you got the geometry. The link bars can be solidly welded.
They're all welded.
The panhard bar can be welded completely out. We can cut the top of that piece off for the panhard bar bracket and put that piece of plate across the top, and then weld across the bottom of that piece. Like, it's, you know, that stuff is where it's gonna live. I'm trying to think. The next thing, if you want to do that or don't want to do that, the next thing is getting your shock hoops and fitting them up inside of there and just kind of seeing where it's going to play and where it's going to live, because you just kind of have to set it up in there and like lean it out, see where, you know.
I put one of those shocks in there yesterday just to kind of see where it's going to be at.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. I mean, when you get it in there, you can lean, like mine are a little bit forwards.
Yeah.
The brackets are a little bit forwards, but you can do it straight up, you know. Obviously you want to do it at the right height, but, you know, you could, because I had to do, not on this side, on the back, I didn't have to, but on the front, because the AC compressor, I had to build that little pad. But on the back, on the other side, because the hydro boost, I had to put that piece of 2x2 going out.
Yeah.
So, that's just how I wanted to live. And then, like, see, I did this, I just went fucking level across the, I just kept moving them up and down. Well, I closed the hood all the way, and I fucking brought them as far as I could, like where they were touching the hood.
Yeah.
And then that's where I worked on it. Kind of made a mark, like, okay, they're gonna be like right in this area when they're all the way up against the hood. Because I don't know on yours, I'm assuming they're gonna come out of here. I don't think they're just gonna sit right on top of the frame. They might.
I looked at James, his are kind of like on the frame.
Are they?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Got a little update. We didn't have the camera on, but we've been working a lot. Caleb's over here now, welding link bar brackets on. lifted good. How's it looking?
Oh yeah, she's burned in there good and hot.
Sweet. See the smoke.
Yeah, I think it's getting good penetration well.
That's what we like.
Yeah, when it's turning the brackets blue and the frame blue, you're doing a pretty good job.
It's good. I'll never get them bolts out of there again.
Yeah, they're good and tight. Loctite. Natural Loctite. Lots of heat. I tied it in on the front, on the bottom a little bit more, and I did second pass on that one because the gap was pretty good size.
It's good though.
Yeah. It ain't going nowhere. Nope. With the amount of heat that's in it, it ain't going nowhere.
Did you tap it until it's not going nowhere?
Yeah. Put a strap on it and make sure Jesus ain't holding it down. Nope, you don't got to worry about that. Good.
Got the wheels and tires on today. Caleb just doing his thing. Burning it in. It's looking good. This truck's finally got some wheels on it today. So we're making some progress. Here's what it's pretty much gonna look like. That's sitting at ride height. Looking good. What do you think, Caleb?
Well, luckily, since we have the lift this time, it makes it a lot easier than me crawling around on the ground trying to do all this moving and welding and stuff, so that helps out a lot. But
Yeah.
the progress is pretty good. If you guys are thinking about doing this off-road design kit, yeah, it is a kit in all terms of the reality. It's a kit, but there's some fabrication work to it. You got to kind of work on it and fit it up for your application, because there's going to be different measurements, whether it's a Silverado single cab, crew cab, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive frame. There's going to be some different variances in it. So just be ready, you guys. You're going to have to do some cutting and some welding. Like, my frame wasn't completely straight on mine, and Ryan's is the same way. His was a little bit in at the bottom and out on the top. So the key is we got the brackets on there level and straight, and then we filled in where we needed to, the void spaces. So just little stuff that they don't really tell you. Just be prepared for anything. But the other thing is, you know, when you're putting all this stuff together, you know, these brackets are all made with a weld, you know, somebody that's got a jig and they're welding it together. Well, some stuff kind of gets out of whack sometimes, and they weld it, and the heat and then cooling off, it actually shrinks the metal down. And so when you're trying to get some of the joints in and some of the bolts in, sometimes it ain't gonna work exactly like you would think out of the box.
You gotta give it some love.
So you gotta get a drill bit and clean some stuff up. I mean, just be prepared. You're gonna have to do some little stuff like that to kind of get it right and fit up nice. We got a lot done. Ryan's been just hammering away. I was at the station yesterday, but Ryan's got the link bars right on the money. If I could say anything about doing it, this whole kit on this thing is measure 300 times to make sure your axle's straight, your brackets are straight, the width before you weld anything up. Just tack it, measure 100 times. Go back and check it again. If you make one adjustment, you need to remeasure everything. You cannot just tack it and say good to go and just finish it out. It's not going to drive down the road straight. So, you know, Ryan worked for well over an hour getting the caster right on this. He's at 5 degrees at ride height, which mine is a little over 5 degrees, but mine didn't start out that way. Mine was like 4, and I didn't know it drove bad. It really didn't drive bad until I got 5 degrees, and now it drives perfect. So they say the perfection is like between 4 and 8, and I can tell you right now, 5.5 is on the money.
Yeah, finally, I got it a little more. It's like 5.15 or something.
And every truck's going to be different, guys. Ryan's truck is a low pinion, and a lot of the Ford axles are a high pinion, or if you get a custom axle, they're a high pinion. So what you got to watch out for is your driveline bind. So you got to plan on getting, you know, a drive shaft made with the double carbon joint, and then, you know, the heavy duty U-joints that are made for this type of stuff, 1410s, 1550s, just to be able to run this. And so Ryan's setting all of this to where it needs to be because he is going to run the double carbon joint on his drive shaft. So you can see, if you look up in there where it sits, that affects your caster angle.
there's the transfer case. Right there's the yoke. So we have a really good line between those two where it's not in a bind or anything like that. You can go ahead, Caleb. This is what we're talking about here is the angle of this up or down. It's at 5 degrees positive caster right now. So when you have it down, first is on the back, you kind of want it down a little bit because when you hit the gas, it's going to come up. So the front is just exactly the opposite, I believe. So no, it's coming together. Caleb's
When you
getting
when
her
you do
done.
this kit, a lot of people, you know, they're used to having like leaf springs and stuff. You know, leaf springs are great, but they're just a different animal. And so the key is you got to know if you got a 14-inch, you know, coilover up here, you're going for 7 inches down, 7 inches up. Well, that's a lot of travel. And there's more. There's 16, 18-inch shocks. I mean, there's coilovers. I mean, it's variants of different coilovers you can get. So it's really important to cycle the suspension, especially when you get your tires on. Before you put your shocks on, fill them with nitrogen. Just cycle it, move it up and down, turn the wheels left and right. I mean, I'm going through this right now with my truck. You know, putting the 42's on, yeah, they're great, but it's a lot of work to get everything to fit, and I've had to cut a ton.
Just start over.
Yeah, basically I'm starting over the whole front, fender-wise, and just redoing a lot of stuff just for 2 more inches, but the things we do for 2 inches, right? Yeah, we're making it though. Ryan's got it coming along. His truck's closer every single day. He's been putting in some work, and that's what it takes. You just got to get out here. And I would say this second time has been way easier for me, not only because Ryan's truck, you know, it's designed and set up for these brackets and stuff, but also because it's just more familiar, like the angles, the way it's set up, how it moves. I'm getting more comfortable with the kit, and, you know, when I'm more comfortable with it, I'm pretty, you know, headstrong and getting it done.
Makes it easy for me because I can just say,
Yeah.
hey, that's another thing. If you don't know, ask.
Yeah.
Always. Because there's a lot of stuff in this. When you start here at this point, if you get it at 1/4 of an inch, it's going to be way off over there and then over here, and it just, you got to measure and then do something and measure again and do something and measure again.
And that's why we're just stressing the measurement. Make sure, I know this kit is made for this truck, but you gotta make sure you measure stuff many times as you can. And when you're sick of measuring, measure it some more.
Yep.
It's just, it's gonna, in the end result, you're gonna get a truck that drives straight, it's gonna set right, it's gonna be right on the money, and you don't have to worry about redoing stuff, because you don't wanna have to redo these brackets, cut all this stuff off, because it's a lot of work.
That's what I started with this truck.
Yeah, the truck when we got it, you guys remember, he had to tear it completely apart, and it had all kinds of booger welds on it, brackets that weren't made for this setup. It wasn't gonna work very well. It worked, but it was not gonna work for what Ryan's gonna do.
It would have worked once.
So,
That's about it. Yeah, we're
coming
kicking
together.
butt, man.
making progress. Ryan's putting in the work. That's what it takes.
I'm ready to be out there wheeling with everybody.
Won't be long.
Nope.
September, here we come.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
All right, guys, it's been a well-rounded day in the shop. Got a lot done. Super excited with the progress, not only for Ryan's truck, but mine as well. It's been going good. He's coming along on it. We got another bracket put in. He got it welded in. Ryan's coming along on it. So how do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel accomplished today. I really do.
Some days really go far, and this is one of those days we got a lot done.
We got a lot done. Caleb did a lot of welding. We did a lot of back and forth, and got the 4-link set up perfect. Got the mounts. Everything's welded in finally. Final welded.
Yep.
All measured. We got this little brace put on, and then some more bracing on it. I decided to add a little bit just for a little extra strength. That's how we do things around here.
That's right. Yeah, we don't skimp on the bracing because the way we drive it, it's going to get tested.
No such thing as overkill.
Nope.
Overkill is underrated around here.
Yep. I'm happy with it, Ryan. I think you're making some huge progress. I think front end wise, honestly, your truck went way faster than mine did. So.
Well, I got lucky, and had you to pick your brain since
Shit.
you already did all this, you know?
Yeah, it's worth it. It's good to have friends.
Yeah, friends of those things is great. Then we started, our next little thing is moving on to suspension. So
Yeah, he started working on it, getting shock hoops mounted up in the frame, and he got the shocks pretty much taken apart, so that way they're not, there's no nitrogen in them. So he was going to get some tape for it, so he can tape it all up, keep them pretty. Then we'll be able to fit it up. And oh, you need shock tabs.
that's right.
We got to get. He's got to order some shock tabs from off-road design, or maybe Barnes. I don't know, somewhere. Whoever can get it the fastest. All they are is a piece of 3/8 plate. It ain't that big of a deal, but need some shock tabs for the shock hoops. So got to get that ordered. On mine, I feel pretty happy with the progress. Ryan helped me kind of get the driver's side 1/2-inch bar stock all put on, so that was helpful. When you're trying to do it by yourself, I remember the first time I did it by myself, and it took me twice as long. So the good news is, down here you can see my remainder of the parts of the fender that is left. That's the baby blue fender. The one on the right is kind of like the one that I worked on slowly, and the one on the left, the one I cut all at one time. So we're running into a little bit of a challenge with this. This side's done pretty much. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I don't really think I could get any more out of this side of the fender, and it all fits at full bump no matter what. So I like this. I got to do some finish welding on it, but I wanted Ryan to get back going on his project, and so I wasn't holding him up, and I had a lot of cutting to do. On this side, we got a lot of work to do. And the reason I say that is I'm not at full bump yet, and it's starting to get really close. I got about an inch left. So I got to make some executive decisions on up travel, possibly moving a bump stop, because I think my left hand turn is a little bit more than my right hand turn, you know, from lock to lock on the steering, and so it turns a little sharper to the left, which is not a problem, but it is a problem whenever you get these tires flexed out and the rubbers are down and it's taking your headlight out. James, you know what I'm talking about. I've seen it in action. So I'm gonna try to not do that. So I gotta use some decisions, but the main thing is I gotta cut out the fender's where it needs to be. I got the inner part of the fender completely cut out. Some guy that's not, to be unnamed, put too much bracing on it and made it a real pain in the butt. But I finally got it. I persevered. But I'm happy with it. I can't wait to get the rest of this thing going. It's going to be great whenever I get to wheel it and enjoy all of the 42's have to offer. Hopefully the stickies are what they say they are. So we're going to find out. You guys come along. Morning guys, it's Sunday. I'm out in the shop. I'm just super stoked. I got a lot of work done, finished up on Saturday. As you guys know, I'm planning on heading to a full-size invasion here in Moab in about a week. Actually, it's less than a week now because I have to go, we're leaving like on Friday, possibly. But I am super stoked because I got the 42's mounted. I got the old 40's off of the rig, and man, just the difference in the tire itself is impressive. I mean, I know the videos never do it justice, but this thing works really, really good. It just looks good is what I mean, and I'm super proud of the progress I made. So one thing I had to do to get this thing where it needed to be was trim the fenders out. Well, it took a lot of work to get these fenders here, and I think one of the things I'm most proud of at the moment is, and I didn't really notice this, guys, until I got it completely done. I didn't really mean to do this, but it's just kind of the way it worked out. I trimmed these fenders out, and I took about 3 inches total out of the fender and redid this 1/2-inch round stock. Had to trim the bumper, French that in there. Had to move this forge a little bit, change the mount for my light, trim this out. It's really close to the gearbox, but long story short, this body line that goes right here now is continuously running towards the back, and if you look down the side of the truck, it matches this line right here. So I'm super happy about that, guys. It looks good. I'm gonna get some better pictures and video of it, but I'm really, really happy with the way that turned out. I really wasn't expecting that. I kind of was a surprise. And you know, sometimes these projects like this, that just kind of happens. It's like a fluid motion that it's just meant to be. I can honestly tell you guys, there is no way you can put any other larger tire on this truck than a 42 if you're going to keep the grill and the core support in the stock place. There is no way. I mean, you guys see, if you look back, I mean, it basically, the fender is wide open. There is literally no room. So, I mean, literally, you guys cannot get a bigger tire. This is the biggest tire you can put. If you're gonna leave the core support exactly where it is, and you're gonna leave the stock fenders on it without cutting and narrowing down the front. So, I got all the tires on. I really like the way it looks. I got it all flexed out. I bet I flexed this truck out without the coilovers on it 40 times, 50 times, just trying to make sure nothing was going to touch. Full bump, full droop, moving it up and down, just trying to get a good feel for it, because it's something you guys want to figure out while you're in the shop, and why you're able to do it when it's not on the trail crunching headlights and, you know, getting into the fender or other components. And so I really had to work hard on the front, but it took me about 4 days total, but I got it all trimmed out, so I'm happy with it. So what I'm gonna do today is, my plan is anyways, I'm going to adjust the front down. Right now it's kind of got the Carolina squat going for a little bit, not terrible, but I got the backs adjusted when you use the King coilover tool that helps you adjust them. This makes it way easier, guys. It actually fits into the holes on the collars here, and you can turn it, and it's just like, you know, basically a specialized tool for this. Now, you know, I haven't had coilovers at all. This is my first truck with coilovers on it, so this little tool has been super great to have. Ryan bought it, and I've been using it a ton. So I'm gonna do some more adjusting and get these, hopefully get this front end down, maybe, I don't know, maybe an inch lower than it is right now. And I need to drive it and get it settled. So the other part of this that I need to do is I need to get the battery installed. Whenever I did the, which I need to get a light for you. When I did the fenders, I had to actually angle this battery tray up right here, and so it is, you know, tighter and taller whenever you get to the edge. So I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna hook up my battery. Might be interesting. I might have to move some cords and stuff and some wires to get that to fit, but I've been having it charge over here. I haven't had it running in a while, so I put it on the old battery maintainer and I got it going. But for all intents and purposes today, my goal is to get it driving and running, get it out of this spot, because I need to get this thing down to Kevin and Alan so they can get this fender painted and the other fender painted, so I can get ready to go to Full-Size Invasion, because it's coming up and I need to be leaving at the end of the week. So I'm really hoping, cross my fingers, that Kevin and Alan can help me get this thing whipped into shape and get it looking good. Also, we'll be staying for at least a couple of days of Easter Jeep Safari. You guys will see plenty of video on that. So got a lot going on. I need to get started and get some work done. We've got a busy day ahead of us, so let's get going. Okay guys, I'm back on it, trying to finish up a couple things. So when I moved the fenders up, basically this had to go up 3 inches like I was saying. Well, that also made it to where I had to angle the inner fender up. So one thing that did was it moved all of my things that live in the fender wells up as well. So when I went to close the hood, if you look across here, the air tank is now at an angle. So I need to relocate this, and I'm thinking about maybe moving this maybe to the right a little bit, just kind of getting it moved. I guess I could turn it that way, but I can turn it either way really, but I just need to get it farther in towards the engine to get this side of the tank down. So what it's doing is it's touching right here, and that's not going to work. So I need to get that moved. Just got some screws underneath that hold it in, not a big deal. But also got a couple other things done, looking pretty good. I got my reservoirs mounted for the shocks, and then also got my battery hold down and battery all in a good spot where it's going to be nice and tight and it's going to be holding like it's supposed to. So one thing I am going to have to do though when I put the hood down is I'm going to have to trim some of this inner hood out. So what I'm going to do, which I know you guys have probably seen this on some of the, I think they started in like 73 up to 79 or so. This style of hood wasn't out yet at that time, and they had this pinch point, and they had the hinges where you had to push the whole hood back before you pulled it down. Well, a lot of people would actually just pull on the end of the hood instead of pushing it down like towards the cab, and it would crinkle the hood right here every single time. And so those are kind of known for that, having that bend in it. They call it the Squarebody bend. But they fixed that on the 80 model all the way up to 89, you know, for the Squarebody. So this is, or 88. So this is just a better hood, but I'm gonna have to make a little piece. So what I'm probably gonna do is take some plate and grind this down a little bit, and I'll probably make some plate and just weld it from here going up just to add some strength to this thing to make it a little bit stronger. So I'll weld that piece into there, and then I can trim the inside of this out a little bit to give it some space to clear, because it needs to be able to clear. So just a little couple of more small things. And then also another thing is this little cover that I made for all the HVAC controls for the vintage air. It also went up, and so it changed all of that. So I might have to wait on that till fenders get painted first of this week, but I don't know how that's all going to work out. Trying to get on the schedule to get it painted. I'm hoping Kevin and Alan get me in, but I got a couple of small things. If I get the hood where it can close, I can take the truck for a drive, which would be really cool. I haven't drove it in a long time, and I am really curious to see how these wheels and tires are going to do on the road. So anyways, I'm gonna start working on that and making a little progress on that, and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, we're looking good. Got it coming on. Okay, so what we did here is put this piece on, which you guys can see. Got it welded in there to kind of stiffen it up a little bit, but then I also got this piece cut out, a little extra ventilation, I guess you could say, and that is so it could fit right here where the battery tray is. It can fit around the battery, so I got the battery cables all out of the way. Throw a zip tie on that here in just a second, but got them all out of the way, got it where it'll fit. Everything's gonna live and be happy right here. Also got a new air filter in it, so that's good for it. Definitely needed that. Ain't had one in a while. The other one was just a tad dirty. from being wheeling. I need to clean it out, but it'll be reusable or throw it away and buy another Amazon special. Next setup here is get this tank moved. Probably just gonna move it in maybe about, I don't know, 3 inches or so and see if that's enough. I think that'll be enough. And then also, don't worry about my overflow bottle for my PSC reservoir. That's supposed to be like that. Got a little bit more to do. I can get this hood closed, and then I possibly could take it for a drive. That'd be cool. I haven't driven it in a long time, and really excited to kind of see what the difference is going to be driving wise with the new tires on there. So let's get it done. All right, guys, first impressions, new tires. I'm really happy. A couple of things that I just wanted to talk about is the 42s, obviously, the Nitto stickies, the trail grapplers, they are awesome. I don't know, it's kind of like having new shoes, I guess. They're pretty awesome. Second thing is I went from 120 PSI of nitrogen on my coilovers to 200 PSI. And man, what a difference. Man, it was huge. The truck's more stable, more reactive over bumps. It just works. Super happy with that. Changing the exhaust from the manifold that was close to the cab. I drove it around the section line like 3 times, which is like 4 miles each time. Got it up to temp, and you could put your hand up against the bottom of the firewall, and then also you could also put it on the inside of the cab where the passenger sits and the tunnel there, and it wasn't burning your hand or melting your shoe like it was previously. So I think it's really good. We're making some awesome steps. I think this thing is really coming together. I mean, it has worked good, but I'm slowly refining it. I think I've got it pretty much whipped. So those things were real game changers. Truck drives good. After changing the battery and moving all of that and the fenders and all that, I had to unhook all of the wiring and redo it and remount my battery mount and all that good stuff. So I just checked everything, made sure my transmission fans are coming on, my cooling fans for the radiator coming on, all my grounds for all the lights are working. So I did a real good job on that. All in all, I'm happy with it. I'm excited that I can get this thing down to Kevin so he can get the paint going on it. I really appreciate you guys working with me and getting it going, because I got a week left, literally 6 days, almost 5 days. I got to leave for Moab for Full-Size Invasion and Easter Jeep Safari. So I'm just happy with the progress that we made. I'm glad that we did all the fender trimming. I think the stickies are going to be awesome, but you and I will both find out whenever we get to Moab and we see how this thing does. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you can. It helps me out. I'm almost to 1,000. Really appreciate you guys that are supporting me. It's been a little bit of a climb, and I'm trying to make content to keep you guys interested in more wheeling videos. I know everybody loves to see the wheeling. I enjoy wheeling, so we're going to try to do better at that. So appreciate you guys tuning in. All right, so I'm at Queen's Body Shop here down the road in Skytooth. They've been good to me. They've worked on this truck the whole time, basically on the paint stuff, and I had nothing but good luck out of them. Really like Alan, Kevin, thank you for what you do. You guys make it happen. I kind of got started on this rabbit hole of putting 42s on this thing, and took a lot of work on my part, but I appreciate you guys getting it in and working hard on it and getting it done. So let's go check it out and do a walk around. Got a couple things like the badges to put on, but for all intents and purposes, it's ready to wheel. So you can see they got the paint looking good. There's no scratches on it right now, but it's gonna get the badges put on here when I get back to the shop. But looking good. They got my two-tone down at the bottom, looking pretty good. I mean, it is definitely blue. So they got it all coming. They got it coming their way. I gotta hit it with the black accents with some spray paint and clean that up from whenever I was in Sand Hollow. But I'm really excited. I can't wait to take this thing out wheeling. Super excited about it. This is gonna be awesome. The 42s is gonna be a whole nother level, I think. So we're gonna find out, guys. Tune in, subscribe, like the videos. Let me know what you like and you don't like. Appreciate you guys watching.